What's going on?
I'm
Oh,
tired. I'm sick. I'm not feeling well.
same here. I woke up at 3 a.m. this morning and I couldn't really go back to sleep and then I knocked out a bunch of editing. I just did a bunch of shit since 3 a.m. this morning, so I didn't go to sleep and now we're here.
Interesting, because my daughter woke up at 12 midnight and would not go back to sleep. And this little girl was sleeping under me as if she belonged inside my belly. King size bed. I'm at the corner with a 15-month-old right under me.
Hmm.
I didn't sleep all night because I can't sleep like that. Every time I move, she moved.
Yeah, Luna crawled in the bed last night and I took my ass to the couch. Many nights, just not two nights.
Is that why you couldn't sleep? Because you missed that closeness and you were sleeping alone?
No, I don't know why. I did have a deep sleep, but then I woke up at 3 o'clock and it was just one of those I couldn't get back to sleep.
Okay. Question for you. How has becoming a father influenced your ability to be patient?
That is a very good question because I thought you were gonna ask me how did like what things has influenced me since like being a father or parts of me. And I was literally gonna say my patience. I was ready to answer and say patience. What was the question again? Sorry.
How has being a father influenced your patience?
Oh, wow, that's a lot. Greatly, vastly. Um, but because I've also had to be patient with realizing that all my attention isn't mine.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I'm very, very big on getting attention. Getting attention. I don't know if it's really recognizable, but I do like my attention from who I like it from when I want it. And especially when I want to give attention to myself. So realizing that my free time and my attention time has to be either be shared or given to another person,
Hmm.
of course, willingly, but it's been a test to my patience because I'm not used to doing that. I'm not used to considering and taking time to consider and, not rushing a process with someone else.
Do you ever find yourself being annoyed or just showcasing a lack of patience when you're dealing with your child? Because I know that as a man or as a parent, period, right? That transcends gender. A lot of times we get overwhelmed and we become impatient when dealing with our own children.
Yeah, I've had I haven't had like blow up moments, but I've had moments where like I got irritated easily. Once I've reached a point, now everything, wow, the jumped right out of me. Oh shit. Where everything is irritating me like as soon as she does it. So there's been times where after that's happened, I've recognized it and just try to be more aware of how I react when I'm in this impatient mode, or how do I get back to like being patient because I do think about, and I have been thinking about more recently, what I was doing at the age that Luna is at.
Hmm.
I was like at 8, 9 years old. Like, what was my thought process? What did I want? What kept me? What was keeping my interest, right? And how did I want to be treated as a 9, 8, 9 year old? So when I think about that, it helps me be a little bit more patient with the situation because I remember how like I wanted somebody to like be patient or take their time with me.
Do you apologize
Yeah.
in those moments?
Yo, yes. And you know why? I realized the power of apologizing to a child when I was younger and I was in Jamaica, right? And my uncle was wrong about something, and and he apologized to his daughter. And she said something, she's like, but you did this, and she was crying. She was like, yes, but daddy is telling you that he apologizes. And not only did he apologize, but he also explained his apology to this 5-year-old. And I was like, oh, that's going to be a great thing to keep as in like a parental personality for myself in the future, because I didn't know or understand like the depths of like how important it would be, but I knew it was an important like skill to have, to be able to apologize to a child when you feel like you're wrong. Like apologizing to people when you're in a position of power is a great like personality tool to have.
Yeah, and it's also so humbling and so respectful to be able to look at my 3-year-old and say like, I'm sorry, baby. Daddy overreacted. Daddy was not having a good day, and I'm very sorry for that. I should have not yelled at you. And her response gets me every time. It's okay, Daddy. We can play together now. You're my best friend.
Oh my God, what are you doing?
Cry.
I'm not gonna cry. Can you relax?
Cry.
It's not that kind of place for this. What's happening?
She comes and hugs me and everything.
This guy is that adorable, or
I know, right?
it's not adorable.
And that also models to her how to behave and how to treat others. Like I've watched her apologize to her 15-month-old sister for doing something wrong. I'm sorry, Halo. I'm sorry. Can I get a kiss? Give me a hug. I'm sorry. I am raising some emotionally intelligent children, huh?
Yeah, and I like to also try to like raise by example. So I also have to try and be patient with Mila. So now,
I didn't see that coming.
honestly, my Achilles heel up has always been my fucking patience. Like, especially in relationships.
Do tell.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out, I don't know the root of it or what it is, but I just when things just don't feel right for me, it's just I get to the point easily where I don't want to deal, or I've been dealing and now I don't, but the part of me like been dealing is not that long before I have to like react.
You know what's actually very interesting? Why is it that we treat our children with the patience, care, and the leeway to have missteps, but when it comes to our partner, we tend to quickly respond or vilify them for doing something wrong?
Because children are idiots, right? And adults are smart.
Yeah, but we still make mistakes here and there.
Yeah, but you're a smart person making mistakes, right? Children don't have the history, the memories or the history to know better in certain situations. So
I would challenge that to say, in retrospect, children are born without any trauma, and therefore they can behave in a much more loving, healthier way, versus an adult who has experienced a number of things in life and at times can be triggered without them even being aware that they are being triggered.
Yes, but just how a child hasn't experienced a lot or any trauma, they also haven't experienced a lot or any everything else. True. So I can't expect them to have a rational understanding of where I'm coming from with what's making me impatient. I can
Okay.
expect from an adult. So that's what is adds on to frustration. And when I say like people are smart because we have that memory and capacity and history to know what's making somebody be impatient.
Yeah,
What's wrong with my patience?
but
And
again, like we are so willing to go and apologize to our children when we mess up. We are so willing to take a break when we find ourselves being impatient towards them, and we are so able to kind of see where the children are coming from. But when it comes to our partner, that built-in compassion and understanding to some degree either does not exist or it's not as conducive as it is to our children. We vilify our partners. We're more likely to be upset for a longer time period, and we're, like you said, we're more likely to be disappointed with their behaviors compared to our children.
yeah,
We cuddle, we pour, we cater to our children a lot more than we do those same things to our partners. Is that fair?
no,
Oh, so you're admitting it's not fair.
yeah. Well, that's why I'm talking to you about my patience. I couldn't even talk to anybody else.
Has there ever been instances when you're dealing with your daughter, and let's say that you become impatient, and your partner kind of cues you or signals to you, hey, go take a break, or hey, let me jump in to help because I can see that right now you're not processing this in the best way?
That hasn't happened yet, but also I kind of, to not sound bad, I kind of remove Luna from my environment when I get into this mode of impatience. It's like you're making me impatient, which is also irritating me. Go over there.
Yeah. And she
Get
goes,
out.
she
Go to
goes,
her room. Just yeah, I mean,
you send her to her room because,
I don't send her to her room necessarily. I send her to a room that's not in the same room as me.
but the person that needs calming is you, not her.
Okay, so
So if anyone had to be removed to a calmer space, technically it should be you, not her.
well, her outer space is calmer. That's just me being honest. Wow, that sounds bad. That sounds bad, but that's honest. It's because patience usually comes with irritation, right? And
Okay.
as long as you're right here, I'm gonna be irritated by everything you do until I get over it, or until whatever happens, until we're past this.
Can you
So
self-soothe in the moment?
let's self-soothe me, just so I can answer it right.
If, let's say, you are irritated in the moment, are you able to recognize that and find ways to kind of unirritate yourself?
Unirritated.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the moment without needing time to pass or for you to remove yourself in that
It,
scenario.
it's different in a lot of scenarios. Like it can happen, but then there's times where, my irritation or my impatience gets the best of it. Like I've gotten into middle space like a few times just because
Excuse
like
me? Excuse me? You have what? Therapist here.
arguing
Mandated reporter here.
arguing wise, not violent wise, angry wise, emotional wise. I've gotten into middle space about my things I've been irritated about and impatient about.
I just need you to rephrase that for me, please. Can you just remove the gotten in their face? Like, can you just change that to something?
All right, what do you think got in the face?
Well, to you, I'm assuming it means continuing the conversation and expressing yourself in a loud, boisterous manner. right? Because I know you. You're a lover. You're a teddy bear. You're soft
Yeah.
in a loving way, not in a non-masculine type way. So I
Yeah.
understand it, but for others, it might be perceived as you literally positioning yourself directly in their face and trying to intimidate someone.
Yes, but without the intimidation. Like I can argue from afar, but when I'm really upset, I'm arguing from a close. But it's not to intimidate, it's just because I am that upset or I am feeling that emotionally angry. But it's not like I'm going to react off this anger. It's just no, I'm very angry and I didn't snap, I just snapped quickly and now we're here. But I catch myself. It's not like I'm sitting there barking at you for hours in your face. It's I caught myself. This was my reaction to my patience running out and my irritation at an all-time high. And this is one of the few moments when we're yelling at each other.
In those moments, what do you need?
A hug. That's mad fucking funny. Actually, I'm only laughing because I never actually said it out loud. when I'm asking, it's like, yo, I do need a hug. But I need like softer space to be like, just chill out. It's not that deep.
No, that's invalidating you. That may make you angrier. What you might need is, you know what? I can understand how you feel based on that position. So how about we hug it out for now and we'll come back to this conversation later.
Yeah. Or even telling me like shit is not that serious, shit is not that deep, but in a softer, like welcoming manner. And I know that's not easy to do when somebody's like that upset, but they're like generally, if I were to answer, what would I need in that moment? It's a hug.
So what does that sound like though? How can she communicate that to you in a softer, gentler manner? If she was to listen to this, I want you to tell her exactly what to say and how to say it.
Oh, come on, don't put me on the spot like that. You know this is recorded.
Because it's a lot of times we tend to tell our partner, well, I just need you to do this, but we're not giving them the words or the steps to doing it, so they're just guessing. This is free couples therapy right now.
In times of irritation, or when my volume gets to a certain level, because it's not my normal state, I would like to have softness as an approach during that time, because that will be the quickest way to get my attention and understanding.
Okay. What does that look like? What does that sound like?
And so if you were to hug me,
as you're screaming and yelling at me, you want me to just go like this and hug you?
If we're in a moment of arguing, and I'm screaming and yelling, pausing me at that moment, or waiting until I finish to let me know that this is not our normal environment, and creating a softer space during this time would be really helpful. And I know it's not easy, but if you were to do that, that would help tremendously.
Thank you for telling me the same thing for the fourth time. And I'm asking you, what does that look like?
So if you were
let's role play. I'm Orlando and you're Mila and we're arguing. What do you want Mila to do for Orlando to create that soft space that you need?
Just make physical contact, either holding my hand. Holding my hand will be perfectly fine. Or holding a part of me and then telling me that it's not that serious, or it's not that deep, or this can be figured out, and leaning into a hug would be perfect
Nice.
to bring me down.
Good job.
Patience.
Does arguing turns you on?
Turn me on? No, not at all. It's one of my
The
greatest.
opposite.
That's one of my greatest irritations. Like, I can be irritated about something, but arguing with me will make it worse. Not because like of it. Like I can't argue. I can't necessarily. No, I can't argue to feel better. I can't argue it out. It's gonna make it worse.
You've never been in an argument with your partner, and just the way that they're arguing, the way that they're moving, you're like, oh, that's sexy.
Not in a serious relationship, no.
Do you guys have makeup sex after an argument as well?
Yeah.
I would start arguments purposely. Makeup sex.
Oh, we're sick people. I've never understood it, but it's I've done it, but I've never purposely like went out my way to like, yo, let's spice things up. I'm gonna cause some type of strife today's the day when I piss her off. I think it's gonna be it. We're sick people.
I do. Who left this toothbrush here?
Do you still do it today?
Huh?
Do you still do it to this day? Like,
Oh, yeah. And she'll know, like, are you trying to cause the fight so we can have makeup sex? Is that how you think of me? Oh my god. I can't believe you. How dare you? Yes.
I think you got an anger king going on. I think that.
I know why though.
Huh?
I know why. So being a father and being a therapist requires a certain level of softness from me.
Yeah.
Right. So it requires so much empathy, so much understanding, and so much softness.
Mhm.
But I'm also a very barbaric, competitive person. So the gym is where I get to take that out on. Right? I'll go to the gym, I'll lift, I'll run, like it's where I get my competitive nature. So a lot of times I need other ways to kind of tap in to that bravado, that testosterone and engulfing type of behaviors. So by getting into a fight, right, allows me to then channel that later on during makeup sex.
That makes sense. Because I am the opposite.
Really?
And I've been used to growing up in tumultuous turmoil, like household and situations, right? So that's normal for me. It's to the point where like shit happens around me and I'm like, yeah, I understand that is kind of crazy. I'm very calm and nonchalant about it.
And chaos.
But loving situations is new or is not normal for me. So that's what excites me and that's what turns me on. So when we're arguing and yelling, I was like, this isn't fun. I'm used to this. I know this feeling, that the feeling of fire that comes up into somebody and excitement and sparks that goes off when somebody's like at the high energy of arguing is what I feel from just like holding hands.
Oh.
So I don't need yelling and arguing. I do understand that it could fire you up, but it's not the argument that is making me so turned on. It's the idea that now we're getting into a better space. And that's why makeup sex is attractive to me. That part of makeup sex is attractive to me, not the whole thing. Because if the fact that I have to include an argument, that's not going to turn me on. That's going to turn me off. And then the makeup sex is just going to bring me back to normal and maybe a little bit more. But I'm not at the norm and getting like this huge bonus and uplift.
Somebody's healing.
I'm always on the path of healing. The path of healing is a consistent path.
somebody's healing and somebody's reflecting on their healing and their process.
Yeah, but that's why I had to like really hyper focus on my patience, right? And how it makes me react, and realizing from this conversation now that my patience is very closely focused to irritation. And I grew up in a hostile environment where people were irritated easily.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
that's your baseline.
Yeah, I think my reaction to things is just very just angst, like not angst, aggy.
Yeah,
this is very aggy to things for like no reason. And then when I think about it, was it really that serious? Like, did your patience really need to run out for that?
When it comes to me, I struggle with patience and irritation when it comes to my parents, especially.
Yeah.
My dad is the type of person that will call you and ask you to do him a favor and expect it to be done right then and there, as if you have no life and you have nothing else to do but the one thing that they need you to do. For example, allow me. My man calls me. I'm at the gym. Say, Stanley, I want you to send flowers to my friend. Their mother passed in Florida. Pops, I got you. Text me the address. Cool. And name, right? I get a phone call 2 minutes later. I sent you the text. Did you see it? Bro, if you sent it, I got it. Right? That's how text work. You send the text and it's received. But you need to call me to confirm that it was received. I expected that phone call. Cool. Within the next hour, my man calls me 5 times to ask me that I already purchased the flowers.
Yeah.
I'm at the gym. I've told you this. I said I'll do it before 5. It's 12 o'clock. So I go, I order the flowers, I write the card and everything. I'm like, yo, what's your budget? No budget, just do what you do.
No budget, just vibes.
So he calls back and I tell him, yeah, the flowers were ordered and it's $64. My man asks, why is it so expensive? And why did I buy the most expensive flowers? At that point, I get annoyed and I'm irritated. So, I'm like, Pops, I'll talk to you later. I need that break prior to even try to explain what transpired, because Haitian parents, they don't listen. They don't listen at all. And they're very loud.
Loud and wrong.
Welcome to my life. And eventually he wants to move in with me. Because he's retiring. Yeah, my dad is about to retire. So
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've realized that. I don't know if patience really stands alone by itself. It's usually patience and irritation, patience and arrogance, patience and lack of patience and violence. Like, yeah, I think I guess realizing that people really didn't offer me a lot of space and time. I think that's it.
I just had a breakthrough. The reason I tend to get irritated with my father is because I also don't get space and time. Right? It's a call after another call after another call very quickly, not giving me appropriate time to complete the task that you're asking me for.
Space and time. So yeah, I think people are not having the freedom to like speak freely, not having like, well, I know my attention isn't not an issue, but is a thing because of my childhood. So not getting the attention that I feel like I deserved as a child, not getting a lot of things that I needed not getting a lot of things I needed as a child, or not seeing how those things are given makes it hard for me to understand like when to take a beat, take a moment, and just be patient with something. And so now because I haven't seen it, it's hard for me to recognize it. And now that I don't recognize it, I don't know how to do it. So I'm not giving it off to other people. And because I'm not getting that, I get irritated because I'm used to that being the reaction around me when I was a kid. Boom!
It's also interesting to me how our stories so different but very similar at the same time. I'm very big on being on time. Literally being on time.
Yeah.
Back in Haiti, in school, I would be the first one at school. I would leave my house as early as possible because my dad is someone that needs 2 hours to get to a 30-minute location. So I'll be the first one at school. So growing up, I was always on time, and that has been a staple in my life now. I can vividly remember when we would get in the car and my mom would not be done getting dressed and my man would just be honking the horn.
Yeah.
And screaming and yelling, come on, we gotta go, we're gonna be late, and etc. Now in my adult life, I still pride myself in being on time. But my wife, my wife is the complete opposite. And I struggle with finding the compassion for that. To a point, like if we gotta be somewhere at 5:30, I'll tell her 4:45. Because I know the time that we need to leave to get there by 5:30, she would not be ready by then. So if I give her an earlier time frame, then I can get there. But then again, I'm lying. And I don't like that. I don't like to lie to her. So I find myself getting irritated whenever we're running late, especially when I've communicated that being on time and precise really matters to me. But again, that's rooted back into my father.
Now, I just had another eureka moment. When you say that you struggle with what you struggle with and what it makes you impatient, I struggle with being listened to.
Ooh, say more.
So when I'm not being listened to, it makes my patience run out easier. And I feel like if I told you something, because there's a lot of things that go into like not being listened to, right? And one of the things is if I've told you something, I feel like you're not listening to me. If I'm talking to you and I feel like you're ignoring me, if I have expressed something to you about myself that I like or dislike or whatever, and then you still do that same thing, these are things that have made me made me run out of patience. These are all things that happen in relationships. And so when I run out of patience, my reaction is irritation, because that's how I've seen people react to run out of patience. And so so it's and I know that's got to be true because I really like bug out when I'm being ignored or when I'm not getting the attention that I want at the time.
The attention that I want at the
time. No, the reason why I say this is because when I tell people, no, I like attention, people would think that I want attention from everybody. No, it means that when I want it, like if I want attention from Mac at 8 p.m. at the time
I know.
And I don't get it, it's like, no. Is who I want it from when I want it. That's the issue. I don't want attention from a lot of people.
Have you ever been upset at your daughter because she's taking the attention of your partner as opposed to you receiving that attention?
No. And the reason why I haven't is because I understand that comes with having a child, right? And so I had to, and I told Mills before, because she was trying to like, keep me up with, catch me up to speed with like having a kid and stuff like that. And I said that I've thought about this years before. Since the age of 28, I started mentally preparing for having a child in my life because I knew I was getting to that age. So I never I was always prepared to know that I had to be a little bit more patient with a child. I had to know that there was a sacrifice with attention with having a kid around and different things like that. So I was ready and prepared.
I've been jealous. Sometimes I'll see my wife.
It still happens. Don't get me wrong. It does definitely does happen.
Yeah.
I'm not negative, but I've gotten a lot better in comparison to like to how I've been before. Where, oh, I told Mila when I first saw her, I was like, I don't date moms. I like attention. I gotta get that kid attention. If we can't go out, that's an issue. That can't out. I can't work.
I vividly remember my wife just spending all this time with my daughter and hugging her and kissing her, and I'm like, and sleeping right with her, and I'm in the corner all by myself, all lonely up, needing some type of touch and some love. Looked at him like, yo, what's up? The kids are supposed to add, not replace me. Since that day, man, that bedtime routine been on point.
Because you're yours.
Yeah, I'm like, after 7:30, you're mine and mine only, and I'm not sharing. And she's had the same conversations with me too, because at times, like, take my daughter out, kiss her, I'll play with her, and all of this, and she's looking at me like, I kind of miss us doing those type of things too. I kind of miss being your world.
Yeah.
Right. I want some of that affection too. Like, don't forget me. You're right. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I don't necessarily get, well, I'm not really the jealous type, so I don't necessarily get the jealous feeling. And I let Mila rock because advantageously, I know that, if you're happier with your child, then we're gonna be great, because I know that's what they'll enjoy. So I don't really trip about the attention that they get and they have and stuff like that. But I know Luna be tight. I know she'd be mad because she like to play too. No, Luna likes to play too when she knows she's getting attention now, and I want it. She's like, one of those, and I just be like, all right, no problem. I just wait for my time. I wait for my time, because I know you're gonna kiss when I'm kissing on your mom, and you gotta go to school, or you can't be here.
Yep, it's bedtime. You gotta go to bed. You gotta go to bed.
Yeah, thank you so much for this. I've been trying to figure out like how to get to like the bottom of like my lack of patience, and realizing that it's a thing about not feeling heard or seen. And I'm gonna put this into practice. You got any like tools or workshops or practices I can do that can help?
Just take your time and label it.
So the practice for lack of patience is to be patient.
The practice of for lack of patience is when you're experiencing it, to take a second and look around you and identify why you're being impatient at that moment.
Yeah.
Right. And telling yourself that it doesn't matter, everything will still go to plan. Some deep breathing also helps. Me and my wife, we have a code word. So if I'm ever dealing with the kids and I become impatient, or I'm just flustered or overwhelmed, she'll walk in and she'll say that code word. That means I walk in and you exit. So this way we're not even going back and forth. That word is stated, you walk in, I walk out. And it's vice versa, because at times like I'll be doing session and I'm hearing what's going on downstairs. I'm like, okay, she's overwhelmed, she's overtouched, she needs a break, right? So I'll go downstairs, code word, she goes, I go in, and that's it. There's no time for reprimanding what's going on, why are you talking like that, why are you being impatient? No, there's no time for that, because right now you're flustered. Right? You're flooded. So you can't hear, you can't process, you just need time a way to allow the stress hormone to kind of release through your body so you can get back to your baseline.
Copy. We got to come up with code words in our relationship too.
Oh, I got a bunch of code words.
Yeah, we got to do that.
You have a safe word?
It's me.
I'm kind of curious. What would your safe word be?
We don't really have safe word. We just, if it gets to the point. Wait. What kind of safe word are we talking?
Orlando. I cannot foresee you being in a intimate relationship without a safe word.
I mean, we go the distance, so we don't really have like safe words. If it's ever a moment where we're like, all right, maybe right now we should just have a safe word just in case we'll come up with one. But generally, no, it's we just be at it.
Freestyling, just going at it.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. I would also add in that becoming a father has helped me become more patient.
Yeah.
Because I realized by being impatient or irritated toward my children, I was hurting my relationship with them. All right.
Yeah.
When I remember one day my daughter said, Daddy's mean. That crushed my world. That night I slept right on the floor by her bed.
My God.
Because I just needed to apologize and to let her know that she did nothing wrong, that it was just all me. And I was so unaware on how I was making her feel that I wanted to show up and show her that she is my world.
Copy.
Took her on a daddy-daughter date the next day, went and got her nails done. Went out to eat. I took her shopping. Never again. Never, ever, ever, ever again. This little girl wanted everything. I've grown a lot, man.
Yeah, that's good. Haven't we all?
These goddamn kids, they got to be.
Yeah. All right, let me go. This was great. Thank you for the journey.
It was a pleasure chatting with you. What's one thing that you're taking away from this conversation?
That it's my parents' fault why I'm impatient.
And what are we going to do about that?
Be more patient as a parent.
And my takeaway is I need to find other avenues to channel my competitive self. So I'm going to join a basketball league or basketball pickup game.
Oh.
So I can talk my shit safely.
I'm also
that testosterone.
Yeah, I'm also going to start putting intention back into my workouts to help, just release stress.
Much you weigh? What's your body fat percentage right now?
Girl, I don't know.
If we had a lift off, who you think would win?
You don't want to plan that with me. You don't want to bring that up. Right, currently, right now, or in the future, if we plan it.
Remember I said how competitive I am?
All right, player.
What's the most weight you've ever squatted or deadlifted?
Deadlifted, about 4 plates.
That's warm up.
Yeah, I mean you're a much heavier, much bigger build. I've never
not that far apart. You're what, like 212, 220?
No, I'm 198, 200.
You little nigga.
Yeah, exactly. I have no reason to be deadlifting that. But you know what I can do at 198, 200?
What?
Very well. All right. I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna go do what I could do really well at 198, 200.
Later.
Later.